أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to another lesson of Tajweed. I hope you have had a good understanding of the previous lessons, and let's carry on with our next lesson for today, inshallah. Before we proceed, please take note that this tutorial video is meant for revision of Tajweed rule which you have learned. You will still need to have an ustaz or an ustaza to check on your Al-Quran recitation regularly. It is good to have a one-to-one session with an ustaz or an ustaza. And this video is just for your revision whenever you need something to fall back on in your understanding of Tajweed, or you forgot certain Tajweed rules. Well, you can come and watch our videos, my videos here. Yeah. Without further ado, let's begin with dua. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم فعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا اللهم إنا نسألك فهم النبيين وحفظ المرسلين المقربين. O Allah, grant us benefit in what you have taught us and teach us useful knowledge. O Allah, we ask you for the understanding of the prophets and the memory of the messengers and those nearest to you. Ameen. Right. In the previous lesson, we looked at the rule of Idgham bi Ghunnah, and in today's lesson, we are going to look at the exception to this rule. And before we move on, let's read what is said in the Tuhfat Atfal, the book of Tajweed. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Illa idha kana bi kilmatin fala tudghimka dunya thumma sinwanin tala. And it says here, except if this occurs within one word, then there is none, no idgham in articulation, as in words dunya and sinwan. Right, let's take a look what this means. So before I move on to the exceptions to the rule of Idgham bi Ghunnah, I'll do just a short recap on what Idgham bi Ghunnah is all about, inshallah. And in today's lesson, our objectives are to know the exception to the rule of Idgham bi Ghunnah, to understand the exception to the rule of Idgham bi Ghunnah, and to identify the 4 exceptional words in the Al-Quran, inshallah. In the previous lesson, we learned about idgham. Okay, idgham means the complete joining or assimilation of 2 letters into separate words. Okay, so take note here, take note, and please remember, this is very important to remember, 2 separate words. Okay, submersion of nun sakin or tanween into a vowel letter, and they are articulated as one single double mushaddat letter. Okay, and the idgham letters, they are all together 6, and they are put as yarmalun or yarmulun. Here we have ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, nun. And we have also learned that out of the 6 letters, ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, nun, out of the 6 letters, 4 of them are actually idgham bi ghunnah. Okay, that means it has joining and also nasal sound, and they are the ya, nun, mim, waw. We call it as yanmu. In the previous lesson, I have also mentioned on how we pronounce words that has the rule of idgham bi ghunnah. Okay, so here let's just make a short recap. Okay, so here we have the yanmu, ya, nun, mim, waw, and it meets with nun sakinah. Today I want to focus only on nun sakinah. Alright, so here you see the nun sakinah actually meets, is actually at the end of one word, and the ya is at the beginning of another word, and so they are meeting as 2 separate words. When this occurs, then the rule of idgham bi ghunnah falls into place. Same goes with nun and mim and waw. However, what if the nun sakinah and the ya meets in one word? What if nun sakinah and waw meets in one word? Okay? So how do we read them? Do we still read them as the rule of idgham bi ghunnah? Let's see. When nun sakin meets waw in one word, then the rule of idgham bi ghunnah does not fall into place. We do not have to merge the nun sakinah and the waw. We also do not have to make a gunnah out of it, because the rule has changed into idhar mutlaq, whereby when we read it, we have to read it clear. For example, this word which appears in this surah, ayat 4, right? The way we pronounce it as sinwanun. Sinwanun. Notice that we say sin and then wa. We do not merge them, or we do not make a nasal sound out of it. Okay, it is just a direct pronunciation. One more time. Sinwanun. Sinwanun. Okay, and this word here, another word which appears in Surah Al-An'am, chapter 6, ayah 99 of chapter 6. Okay, nun sakinah meets waw here. By right, this waw, this is like a idgham bi ghunnah rule, but because it does not meet the criteria of meeting in two words, it meets it as one word, then that rule does not apply. Here we apply the rule of idhar mutlaq, and we read it as qinwanun. Qinwanun. Okay, one more time. Qinwanun. There is no merging. The same goes for the situation where nun sakin meets ya in one word. The rule of idhar mutlaq will come into place, and the rule of idgham bi ghunnah is not used here. And so here, this word appears in Surah As-Saff, ayat 4 of chapter 61, and we read it as bunyanun. Bunyanun. Okay, one more time. Bunyanun. Bunyanun. Okay, and this word, whereby nun sakinah meets ya in one word as well, and it appears in Surah An-Nahl, in ayat 30 of chapter 16. Okay, and the way we read it, ad-dunya. Ad-dunya. Okay, one more time. Ad-dunya. Ad-dunya. Okay, notice that we do not make any merging, and we do not make any ghunnah. So these are the 4 exceptional words that does not have the rule of idgham bi ghunnah applied to it. Alhamdulillah, we have come to the end of our today's lesson, the lesson on idhar mutlaq, which is the exceptions to the rule of idgham bi ghunnah. And in the next lesson, we are going to look at the other part of idgham rule. And let us take a look at what the Tuhfat al-Asfal said. And here we have وَالثَّانِي إِدْغَامٌ بِغَيْرِ غُنَّةٍ فِي اللَّامِ وَالرَّ ثُمَّ كَرِّرَنَّ. The second type is idgham without gunnah tray, and in lam and ra, but the letter you must reverberate. Inshallah, we will go through this lesson in the next video. Alhamdulillah, I hope you have benefited from today's lesson, and you will be able to read the Quran better, applying proper tajweed rules. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me at this email address, and don't forget to attempt the quiz at the end of today's lesson. I hope to see you soon, inshallah. Let's end the lesson with a dua. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilaik. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. آمين. إن شاء الله I see you soon. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.